I found the truth on his phone and lost the marriage I thought was safe. I was standing in the kitchen at 11:12 p.m., staring at his phone buzzing on the counter, knowing I was already too late. It had lit up 3 times in less than a minute, the same name flashing each time while he showered upstairs. I hadn't meant to look. I was wiping down the counter, trying to stay awake long enough to switch the laundry when the screen lit the room. My stomach dropped in that quiet, delayed way where your body understands before your brain agrees. I picked it up. My hands were shaking enough that I almost dropped it. The passcode was still our anniversary. I remember thinking that detail hurt more than whatever I was about to see. The messages were short, casual, and confident. See you soon. Missed your hands. Same place as last time. Nothing dramatic. Nothing that could be explained away. I sat on the kitchen floor with my back against the cabinet, scrolling until the shower turned off upstairs. We had been together for 12 years, married for 8. I knew the exact rhythm of his footsteps, the way he cleared his throat before speaking when he felt guilty. When he came down the stairs, towel around his neck, I was still on the floor. He looked confused first, then tired, then resigned. He didn't ask what was wrong. He just sat across from me and waited. I asked how long. He said a while before correcting himself too. Almost a year. I felt embarrassed by how calmly I nodded, like I was taking notes in a meeting. He said it started after his promotion, after the late nights became normal. He said it wasn't about love. I hated that answer more than if it had been. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I told him it was late and I needed sleep. That part still confuses people when I tell them. I slept on the couch while he stayed upstairs, the sound of the ceiling fan ticking like a metronome for everything. I had ignored. The next morning I went to work like nothing happened. I clocked in at 8 a.m., made coffee too strong, and laughed at a coworker's joke about office printers. My phone felt heavier in my pocket. Every email I sent felt dishonest, like I was pretending to be someone whose life still made sense. We talked that night, and the night after, and the week after that, always at the kitchen table, always after dinner. He apologized in different ways, each one sounding practiced. He said he was confused. He said he never meant to hurt me. He said he would do anything to fix it. I noticed he never said he had stopped. I asked if he loved her. He said no too quickly. I asked if he loved me. He hesitated long enough for the answer to change shape. I started paying attention to small things, like how often he checked his phone, how he angled the screen away from me on the couch. I told no one at first. Not my sister, not my best friend. I was ashamed of how long it had taken me to notice. I replayed old arguments in my head, searching for moments where I could have changed something. I wondered if I had become boring, predictable, too easy to lie to. We tried counseling because it felt like what responsible adults did. Tuesday nights at 6, I were in a beige office with a box of tissues no one ever moved. I said things out loud I had only thought before. He nodded a lot. He cried once. I didn't. Somewhere around the 3rd month, I realized I was doing all the work of forgiveness while he waited to be forgiven. He wanted reassurance that we would be okay. I wanted proof that the ground wouldn't shift again. The affair ended, at least according to him. I never checked. I didn't want to live like a detective. I wanted to feel normal again. Instead, I felt smaller. Every silence felt suspicious. Every late meeting felt personal. We separated quietly the following spring. No shouting. No slammed doors. He packed his clothes on a Saturday morning while I labeled boxes for donations. We hugged like people who had already practiced letting go. Now it's years later and I'm writing this from my bed. Lights off, phone at 10%. I still wake up sometimes expecting to hear his alarm. I still catch myself checking phones that aren't mine. Sometimes I think about how normal everything looked from the outside. The dinners, photos, routines we defended daily, and how people still ask what happened. And I say we grew apart because it ends conversations quickly without inviting pity or questions. I don't explain how trust changes breathing, posture, sleep, or the way silence feels heavier afterward in quiet rooms at night alone always. I learned endings don't arrive with clarity, only acceptance that truths come late. And I carry that knowledge carefully now, not as bitterness, but as weight that reminds me to listen sooner and leave when trust starts shrinking.